Hey all, how's it going? So, you've got me right now, relaxed, in low lighting, nerd mode going on, talking real low because where I'm at, it's pretty late. So, I reached Montreal last night, and it's very interesting. I came here for a lot of reasons. Basically, the biggest one was see, about a month ago in 2022, on December 21st, there was a significant event for me. The long and the short, because I'll explain the depth of this story in another section of this once I can get to that point, once I can get to explaining the whole another topic. Let's just call it that, the other topic, because that's a whole other thing. I'll just explain what happened. So I had basically an experiment experience at a ketamine clinic in Toronto. So this was psychotherapy assisted ketamine therapy approved by Canada Health, or Health Canada, excuse me. I'm saying it backwards because that's how it is in French. Um, so basically, that therapy, what happened was I traveled. I actually had astral travel and I got to see going through a blue vortex. So it was very interesting. I was in outer space. I couldn't see a lot. I couldn't make out a lot of where it was going, but all I could see is that it was traveling. And a significant event happened for me a month ago. But tonight commemorates, or yesterday actually commemorated my arrival in that place. So it's funny, I woke up like clockwork in the middle of the night, didn't look at the time because I didn't want to get myself psyched out. I was trying to go back to sleep, but I realized I was woken up for a reason. So when I had woken up, I was fighting it initially, and then I embraced it. And then I just naturally started meditating. I was in the exact same state that I was while I was doing the ketamine therapy a month ago. How I got there? I naturally learned how to put my body at such ease. That's the effects of ketamine therapy. Ketamine is not a psychedelic. Ketamine actually is a tranquilizer. It's an anesthetic. So that's what it does, is it numbs your body. So this is how you can have an out of body experience. So again, I call psychedelics and substances that assist or induce a psychedelic state, I call them training wheels. Why? Because they teach you how to get there. They're like Hansel and Gretel's breadcrumbs. They teach you how to get out of the forest so you don't get lost. So I got into that state naturally last night, and I traveled to the same place. I saw the exact same visuals. Outer space, traveling through a blue vortex, and my third eye was following this, going through the night sky. And I got to that place yet again. And it was very symbolic of why I came here in the first place. You see, I'll let you in on an observation that I've made. It's a very, very interesting perspective. I mean, if I would have spoken to God and said, you know what, God, this is particularly, exactly, precisely the type of experience I want to have in this lifetime. This is exactly what it is. I asked for this type of experience because that is the other theory. We're not just thrown here and dropped in the sea, dropped on this earth by source, God, Big Bang, whatever you want to call it. We actually have a live conscious discussion with God, a preparation, and an agreement on what we are going to be, what we are going to do, all the things that happen, our parents, our ethnicity, our race, our religion, culture, financial status, life happenings. Every single thing is predetermined. Of course, we have free will to change it at any time. This is the beauty of this temporary existence here. But the key is we agree to it before we come here. And why? What does that mean? It means instead of thinking of the glass half empty, you think of the glass half full. Instead of saying, why am I poor? Why do I have this stupid job that I hate? Why am I in this freezing cold country? Why don't you start saying, instead of thinking of the reasons to hate your experience, think of the reasons to love it, and not just to love it, but instead of saying this is happening to me, you need to start thinking, why did I choose this to happen? What is the beauty of all of this? And if something doesn't seem like it's something I would have chosen, then I probably should change it. But you have to be at a level of realism with yourself, which is a lot of people are not ready for this. It's not comfortable. I don't blame them. You got to be that real with yourself where you're ready to call yourself an asshole. Honestly, we all have an inner asshole, and you have to meet that person to be that real with yourself. So once you realize the little jerk that lives inside you, that's when you can start to be real and say, did I really choose this? Is this what I chose? Is this what I want or not? But always we have the power of choice, and that's called taking back your power. Instead of playing the victim song, the miniature violin, they say, instead of playing that miniature violin, you got to say, why did I choose this? What am I trying to achieve? Why did I put myself in this crappy dead-end job? Why? Because I'm trying to get experience. Because I wanted to stick here. Not saying, oh, I'm not achieving my best. Oh, I'm not doing my best. Oh, I don't like the fact that my boss yells at me, berates me. I don't get good benefits. I get disrespected by clients and customers. You got to ask, what do I need from this experience that I'm getting? Have I achieved it already? And if I've gotten it, it's time to move. Or if I can get something new, a new experience, then great, let's move forward with it. But we always have to think of the reason why in a positive light, glass half full. Because I'm telling you right now, everyone, I want the entire world to hear this message. It is not happening to you. It is happening for you. And I've had to go back at every decision in my life, especially the big ones. And the inner critic that we all have. I call this guy the auditor, because he always is asking for receipts, checks and balances. Why did we do this? How did we do this? Blah, blah, blah. The answer is, I chose it. I always choose the best decision at the time, not because I'm smarter than you, but because that's me. You always choose your best decision at the time that you choose it. Whereas the best of your mind, the best of your body, the best of your soul, the best of your heart, all of those four things align and you make a decision. But you can upgrade the power of that decision making by being conscious, not being unconscious, not just running on autopilot, because you won't make the best. Okay, that's the thing. The ego, once the ego gets hold of older information, how can I say, it disassociates it from the situation, from the context. It decontextualizes that information. So that's the thing with the ego. It's always, when you let the ego run wild, your inner critic will start asking for receipts and checks and balances and audit trails of why you made this decision. And that was a moment in time where, according to how you were feeling, how you were sleeping, the relationship status, your health, your consciousness level, your intelligence level, your financials, every single decision, a massive matrix of decisions, of choices, of context existed in that moment for you to make that decision. So you always make the best decision. You just do. And if you're seeing right now, I don't like my decision making patterns, that means it's time to upgrade them. That means it's time to become more conscious. That means it's time to just take more control and say, I'm going to change this trajectory, because I'm telling you guys, coming here to Montreal, I said to myself, because I'm If you see my supplement counter, you'll have a brain aneurysm just looking at it. All right? It is nuts because I became a supplement maniac because I'm definitely all into the natural health. I obsess over natural health and healing and wellness. But what happened was I was doing it on a third dimension level. That means you're externalizing your requirements. You are feeding from the matrix. So I buy this supplement made by this company. I buy this tincture made by this company. I buy this tea made by this individual. And therefore, if you see my kitchen, a good half of it is natural stuff. So that's really good. That's a really healthy thing, because it keeps you out of the hospital. But it was also me externalizing and handing my power over to an outside source. It doesn't matter the outside source. I was externalizing my needs. That comes from a subconscious belief that I don't have it already. So this is what they always say about dating. They say, don't go searching. Of course, people have to. Like, if nobody went searching, then nobody would be together. But don't have that mentality that I'm searching for something. I gotta find this person. This is not Pokemon. We're not trying to catch them all. Guys, that is the wrong vibration to send out there because the universe responds in such a way. Oh, this guy or this girl says, I need somebody because I don't have somebody. It's a bunch of negative statements and negative subconscious statements. I don't have somebody. I do need some. Well, I don't have somebody. I need to search for them. I'm missing. I wish. It's all from a level of non-self-belief, non-self-fulfillment, and the biggest one is a level of lack. You need to remove that from your vocabulary. It's funny that my life coach and spiritual father, he's always told me to the point of annoyance, but not him being annoying, but my ego just saying, every single time he'd say to me, watch your language, correct your language. I'm going to help you correct your language. And but I listen because as hard-headed as I am, I'm like, I'm not going to shoot this messenger. I asked for this guy to be in my life. I asked long, long ago. So what must I do? I must take this and I have to run with it. I have to utilize this messenger in the time that I have with them because they are gold. I have asked for gold and God responded by throwing Fort Knox at me in the form of one man. So this is how blessed we are. See my language right now? It is dictating my future. So that's what you guys have to realize. Claim all your power. Your future is yours because it's not your future. It's your now. I'll explain the quantum mechanics of reality and dimensions because I can go on literally probably for an entire year of explaining this stuff. 24 times 365. An entire year I can fill up with all of this information. And it's funny, while I'm talking, I'm going to get more of it because what am I doing? Every single one of us we're just an output channel. We're just a channel for the universe. The universe is speaking all this stuff. That's why they call it universe. It is one verse, one word. Some call it the word of God. Some call it source. Some call it the ether. Some call it the universe. Whatever you want to label and categorize it as. Guys, it's always talking. You just tap into the source and you just start speaking. It's like you just drill in the ground and water starts flowing, gold starts erupting, some precious fluid starts bursting forth, oil, whatever, bauxite, any of these things. That's exactly how the universe, it's as above, so below. So I'm not talking, like I said, in another video of mine, I've talked about I'm not endorsing the Church of Satan. I'm not endorsing it either. I'm just saying everybody's got their own path to the universe, and the universe, or the picture of God, the image of God, it's a mosaic. This is a perennialist view. This is me, the perennialist, because It's funny how ironic that term is. It's a term trying to put somebody in a box that has a belief that there are no boxes. Ironic, isn't it? That sounds like that sounds like the ego talking, right? Because that's the ego and their way. Always talking shit. Always saying some kind of shit. Why? To it's like, what can I say? Small man syndrome, okay? No offense to anybody. All I'm saying is that syndrome of lacking, that thinking, that thought of, I don't have something, so I need to bark louder. Like the little dogs, you know? Who are the noisiest dogs on the face of the earth? I would definitely say it's a Pomeranian. Just the sound of that bark, it's like it pierces my skull, and it's supposed to, right? They figured out that frequency hundreds of years ago, how to annoy the hell out of a human being, by being like a 4 or 5 pound little, some rats are even heavier than that. So anyhow, don't talk, I won't get into my past, but that's the thing. Your bark is bigger than your bite if you have inadequacy, a subconscious belief of inadequacy. So this inadequacy, it externalizes in overcompensation. So the point is not, okay, the point is to always check ourselves and be conscious. Why am I doing this? Why am I thinking this way? Why is this coming out in such a manner? And why do I believe something that's telling me this? So it's like you got to be a sleuth with yourself. This doesn't just take a level of realism, self-realism, looking in that mirror and seeing that ugly beast. Because like, it's like right now, this lighting is not helpful, but I don't care. This is me. This is 38 years of wisdom. Well, 38 years in this lifetime. So, yeah, I got the dad vibes, the glasses, the all of this. So anyhow, that's the thing. The ego always tries to overshoot its place. And I'm going to do something right now. I'm going to be taking some deep breaths because it's going to let things flow better. I'm telling the oxygen to go to my head so that my brain is working better, so that the blood flow is working better. 1, 2, 3. I'm also doing another thing. A lot of people, when you talk about psychedelics and saying, oh, have you ever tried DMT? And then the person says no, they're lying. And then they're like, no, I'm not lying. Yes, you are lying. Have you ever done a deep breath? Yes, everybody has. When you do so, you breathe the DMT, which is in your lungs, and you make yourself high. Dimethyltryptamine, the spirit molecule, a lot of people don't know what it is. People know shrooms and acid and maybe ayahuasca, but DMT is consistent in all of them. So it's the spirit molecule. Basically, every living being has pieces of this. When you fast and you start to consume your own body, you're consuming your own DMT stores. It's a massive amount of this substance happens when you, it exits your body. It gets pushed and flooded through your body to tell your soul to evacuate. So when you do the deep breathing and the meditation and the belly breathing, you're breathing deep in and you're sucking up that DMT that exists in your body. So the spirit molecule is flowing through you, just like they say in the Bible, let the Holy Spirit flow through you. Yes, we all have a Holy Spirit. It doesn't matter what you believe in, doesn't matter how much good or bad you label what you do. That's why we tick and we talk. And wow, that was cool. That's clever. That's how we tick. We have that spirit molecule running through us. So tap into that deep breathing. Of course, my storytelling style is jumping all over the bloody map. Doesn't matter what I've done to tune my brain and retrain myself and heal and do this therapy and this exercise. And this is my style and I fucking love it. I curse sometimes. I do mind my language. I mean, I use those words to accentuate the mood that I feel. I want you to hear it. And I want you to feel it, because that's the partial Mediterranean background, very expressive. But the storytelling style, so this DMT that I'm breathing in, it helps me keep my flow. It helps me keep effervescent. It helps me focus and concentrate, because I need that spirit flowing through me, so the spirit can tap into the universe, pick up those messages and relay them much smoother. And I can't do that without oxygen and without blood. So once again, see, I do it with the mouth because you can breathe in a lot more volume of air. And if you've got a partially deviated septum, or so like 75% of us North Americans do, you'll end up having a little bit of an obstruction. Plus, the nose holes are smaller. So, well, not mine compared to many people. So it gives me an athletic edge. But anyways, breathing through the mouth, you get way more volume. So that's what you do. And I got a big mouth in more ways than one. So, and I breathe it and I feel it just going through my body. So the point that I was trying to make, guys, with all of this, your language dictates and says 1,000 words about you. Every little bit of how you come across, it says a lot about you. So you can tell a zebra by its stripes. Basically, your ego will always try to overshoot its boundaries if it doesn't know any better. If your soul hasn't gotten strong enough to be an adequate leader, your ego will become dominant. To do what? Why would God give us part of ourself that's a pain in the rear? That doesn't make any sense. God makes everything easy. So then what's going on? What goes on, everybody, is you have something that is meant to fight the world. Your ego is like your dark side. It's like having a little, what's his name? Cerberus, the dog from hell, that three-headed beast. He sounds so nasty and terrible, but put him on a leash, put him on a chain, and this guy can be the greatest protector. That's why sometimes some of us have like German shepherds, like big dogs. Why? So not so that we can maul children. No, so that we can protect against attackers. That bark is loud. It's not squeaky and whiny. It's like it commands presence. So this is what you need your ego for, to be that dog, to protect your farm, to protect you. So if the ego doesn't know any better, if the soul is not being shown, your ego is going to get massive. And it's going to get out of control. And it's going to steamroll you and everybody and everything you love. So, guys, the ego is very short-sighted. The ego is moored in like the first 3 dimensions. It doesn't know any better unless it gets taught well. So you need, as much as you go to the gym, as much as you go to school, as much as you train at work, that's what you need to do with your soul. This is why religion was made. And this is the funny thing. Like, I have an interesting relationship with religion. I was born and raised a Christian. I became a Muslim for a number of years. Then I call it floating in the ocean of spirituality. This is exactly what I did. So I did this for a number of years. Why? Because I'm like, okay, I'm out of worshiping the books, because many people are at that stage of worshiping the book, and they don't, I can't say that to them, because then their ego is like, no, you have to deny that, because we can't think that, because if we think that, it's going to unravel our beliefs. So that's the whole point. You need to unravel your beliefs constantly. But the point is, we go through the states of, lower consciousness or unconsciousness until we get to the point of self-consciousness. And then we become to the point of super consciousness. It's like they say about Skynet and Terminator. It became self-aware, so it terminated humanity, right? This is why we have to slowly wake up, because we don't want to terminate our humanity, which is what some people end up doing. This is my theory of a lot of suicides, Too much awareness too quickly, too early. So you don't worry, just dip your toes in the pool and slowly get there. Life's a journey. It's not a destination. So Go there in style and go there slowly. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your moments. Don't rush. Just enjoy. I learned that from my father's side of the family. The Caribbeans, they really learned that in spades, and I'm learning how to be my father in the second half of my life. It took me this long to be of being the Mediterranean European like my mother and beating myself up in the process, raising a massive, nasty ego that built and destroyed so much. But what's the key? Now I have two very good partners. I have a wicked soul, wickedly powerful, developed soul, and I have a wickedly powerful, developed ego. So I can switch between these guys anytime I want to. So this makes me a very dangerous version of myself. Dangerous in a good way. Because I'm not out here to destroy people. That's not this lifetime. I've done that in plenty of lifetimes. I've had plenty of past life regressions I'm happy to tell everybody about. So yeah, guys, this episode is drawing to a close, but man, the stuff that I discovered today. So anyways, I'll finish up on the topic of ego. So the ego will try to overshoot its boundaries because it can't see beyond the third dimension. It just does not know. So it needs to rely on the soul to guide it. It's just waiting. It's like, come on, wake up, dude. Wake up. I need a master ruler. Like, come on. Who's going to occupy the space up there? So like, imagine, no offense to janitor. I've been a janitor plenty of times. Well, I've been a cleaner plenty of times in my my younger roles. I've done it all. Trust me, guys. CEO, owner of a company, director of sales, VP of sales, major accounts director, sales executive, accounts executive. My ego is just chiming in because y'all don't know me that well. And I just said y'all, even though I'm not American. But yes, I've been at all those levels, so I poke fun at no one. I've nearly been homeless a number of times. So anytime I see that homeless man or that homeless lady, I'm like, I could have been there any second had I not been protected by God, angels, or had blessings from my friends or family. I'm not saying that I got handouts. I'm just saying that something kept me from literally landing on the street. And you know what? If I did land on the street, I would have learned a valuable lesson. But I try to keep myself close to those. I try to give to charity as much as I can. Feed. I don't even want to say the homeless. That's a terrible word. People that they don't have a fixed address at the moment. Everything's a stepping stone. So again, before I go off on another tangent and breed another 5 episodes, I'm just going to finish this topic about, guys, the ego, when it doesn't know better, it just tries to guess and it just can't see. So this is why you have to balance them all out. You have to be balanced, the 333, mind, body, and soul. So the heart is the answer, and this is the theme of this dimension. I'll run a little bit over time. I shoot for about 30 minutes, 27 to 32 minutes, and I think this is definitely going to be closer to 32. So, guys, the message of the day right now, I have to share with you. So, special event that I need you all to be aware of. It's basically the new moon that happened on the 21st of January, which is yesterday. This is the first time that the moon will be this close to Earth since the Middle Ages. So this is the first time in 993 years that this constellation has occurred, basically. So this is, I'm just scrolling here to see the details again. Yeah, basically it's a new moon in Aquarius. So guys, this is ending the age of Aquarius. Well, not the age of Aquarius, but this is signaling about 2 years. It's practically 25 months to the calendar. So I won't get into that topic, but the last 2 years, a lot of things have happened. Well, the last 3 years, a lot of things have happened. But one of the biggest ones on the spiritual plane was the age of Aquarius, December 21st, 2020. This is when the age of Aquarius began again, since the Renaissance. So this was a time of massive spiritual awakening. Look on all the charts, read up all the oracles, what they've said, what all the spiritual people have said. We are moving to a new humanity consciousness level, base level of consciousness, which is we were stuck. Well, not stuck, but we were in a very hard boundary of 3 dimensions, the first to the 3rd dimension. So the shift from those dimensions to the 4th dimension meant a closing of the door, because the energies that exist in the 1st and 3rd dimension are the lower vibrations. So I'll say this, even though I know I'm going to get looks. And please look on, guys. There's plenty of me to go around. These are the levels of hell, which is level 1, 2, and 3. These are the lowest dimensions that exist on this dimensional chart that I go by, which is 12 dimensions. So on these low dimensions, this is hell. Hell and heaven are right over top of each other. There we go. Sorry, had a call. Hell and heaven are right over top of each other. All these dimensions are happening at the same time. So what ends up happening, we can see most of everything that's going on. I'm gonna wrap this up, and because this deserves its own topic. So, anyways, guys, we are moving out of all of the first 3 dimensions. They're cut off. I saw this in my meditation on New Year's Eve. It just vaporized. So what does that mean? It means a lot of things. I'll get into it more because that deserves its own episode or 2. But it's the new moon that's shifting. So what I'm urging you all to do, because look it up on Google, check it all out. Basically, it's saying that if you want to ask for something or you want to shift reality, put your best and highest wishes into existence, because this is the time to do it. This period is very short. It's where you can literally bend reality. And I'm going to take my own advice. I'm telling you all, we need a lot more peace, love, less walls and boundaries and more bridges. We need more healing and health. And come on, guys. You saw what's happened in the last 3 years. We don't want something like that. We don't want things or any kinds of things like that. It's enough. So let's pray for good things. Let's manifest good things. Let's ask for the highest of the highest of the highest. Be selfless. It's a time to be selfless and ask for great things. Heal cancer for 1 million people. Save a whole bunch of children. Stop some type of horrible suffering. And don't be egoic about it. Don't be like, destroy this group of people or stop them from doing. No. It's not about the groups and division. That's nonsense. That's all stuff from the 3rd dimension that needs to go away. So the highest of the highest, guys, we're all one. We're all pieces of the same puzzle. We all are representatives of what God could be. Well, what we could be to God. Anyhow, do the best and ask for the best. More healing, more love, more natural products, more happiness, shorter work weeks, whatever. Something very good. That's what I'm going to be doing. I want to change this world. I'll share with you my wish, my solemn wish in this lifetime. Heal 8 billion people before I leave this world and finish this lifetime within this lifetime. So that means I got a lot of work to do. And I need all of your help too. Please, this video is part of the work. It's a community service for whatever I did in past lives. Guys, please just help me. I'm on this mission. And for any of you that this resounds with, just please even pray for a loved one. Ask for a loved one to be healed. That'll change the whole vibration of this dimension. So please, I'm trying to get up there and see you all there. Bless you all. Take it easy.